have a special guest with us today. She is the CEO of a professional marketing firm, The Hustle Lab. Please help me welcome Miss Akia Fortson Brown.
Yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
yes. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, I'm doing well. I certainly appreciate you taking out the time and speaking with us today. So, without further delay, just tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
As mentioned before, my name is Akia, and I am the CEO and lead marketing consultant of the Hustle Lab. And although the Hustle Lab started in August of 2021, this is not my first business, not my first rodeo. So I've been experimenting with entrepreneurship for a little over like 10 years now. And I
Wow.
have like 5 years of experience in marketing. So it
Mhm.
feels right, it feels good. Yeah, it's a little bit about me.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you've been bitten by the entrepreneur bug, as they say, at a fairly young age.
Yep, yep.
Okay. So how did you come up with the name The Hustle Lab? That's a unique name. I like that name. So how did you come up with that name?
Thank you. So honestly, I'm a big person about authenticity. Like any business that I've started, I've always done it from my heart. I feel like if you're not passionate about what you do, it kind of just becomes tedious or like another chore, another thing you just like
Mhm.
have to do. And
Yes.
so with the Hustle Lab, really at the heart of it, on my graduation cap when I graduated high school, it was basically saying reach the world but touch the hood first.
Mhm.
And another part of that quote was, it's always the hustle and the heart that sets you apart. And that's where the name came from. It was just like, it just felt right. It just
Mhm.
embodied all of that, where I come from and who I am. So that's really where the name came from.
Wow. So are you the author of that quote? Is that a quote that you authored?
It's not a quote that I authored, but I'm haven't really seen it around. I
Mhm.
honestly saw it looking through Pinterest and I was like,
Mhm.
oh, that's dope. Like
That
reach
is.
the world, but touch the hood first. Like that's something I haven't heard. I wish I heard it sooner.
Yes, I think there's a lot of misconceptions about marketing.
Mm.
So let's just begin with what is marketing and like what is a marketing plan? And does it consist of strategies and tactics? Please explain.
Mhm. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of misconceptions about marketing, honestly, because a lot of people think marketing is the advertising piece. It's the paying to get your name out there. But marketing, there's a whole lot to it. So there's the public relations piece, like, how do people feel about you? How are you perceived? Then there, of course, is the advertising piece. And then there's a lot of other components that you can tap into. Like there's a such thing called cause marketing. So when you see, I'm trying to think of a brand, Tom's, they used to be a shoe brand really popular. It was like
Mhm.
buy a pair, give a pair. That
Mhm.
was a cause to kids who don't have shoes. When you buy a pair, Tom donates a pair. So there's a lot that goes into marketing, and it is bigger than just paying for ad space or getting your name on the side of a bus or on a billboard. It's about how the public perceives you, how people feel about you, what's the culture around your brand. So when it comes to strategy, it's really important that you strategize because not every person is the same. Not every person has the same needs. So when it comes to your business and your customers, your strategy is how you own that, how you come into the market and you say, this is my lane, this is my corner. And as I expand this is our way of doing this. Like I'm not like anyone else in the market. And that's a big part of marketing. So there is a lot of strategy, which is like your overall mapping of how you're going to get from A to B.
Mhm.
And then tactics within that, which are the individual steps that you're taking in between A and B to
Mhm.
achieve whatever it is. So to get more customers or to have people become loyal customers, to
Mhm.
establish a brand name, everything is goal oriented. So you start with the goal, you make the strategy, and you implement the tactics.
What role does a digital marketing plan play in the success of a small business?
Honestly, digital marketing is a big part of marketing right now. Only because, and I think a lot of people don't really understand what digital marketing is because it's often confused with social media marketing.
Mhm.
But digital marketing is way bigger than that. It's anything in the digital space. So
Mhm.
whether that's a website or if you are on social media or digital marketing can also include what others are writing about you in their blogs or their newspapers or on their Twitter feed. So a lot of it because so much of our world is online, like the internet is such a huge part of what we do. It's like
Right.
before I try a new restaurant, I look it up on Yelp first. You know, if I don't know what something is, I Google it first. It's a large part of what we do. So digital marketing is huge right now. And we've seen it throughout the course of time as marketing changes. At one point in time, the radio used to be a big thing, and you had people paying for radio space. And then even now today, it still exists. And then you have television, people pay for commercial space. And what social media marketing, particularly, but digital marketing as a whole offers for small business owners is a chance to get your content out there without having to have the $1 million budget to have to get a commercial space on a TV network or to
Right.
pay a bunch of money for a radio space. You know, now you can hop on Instagram and you can start making content for free. And it's a huge thing because people don't realize how much the digital world plays into word of mouth. You know, we're used to, um, I can't say this was all my life, but the beginning of my life, you know, people actually spoke.
Right.
It wasn't always on social media, but that's how we
Yeah.
speak now. You know, you throw a picture up of your food, like, yeah, just went to this dope restaurant, check it out. You know, that's how we do the word of mouth now.
So what are like some of the do's and don'ts in marketing, if you can, give us a few examples?
Yeah, so I'll start with the don'ts. 'Cause I feel like that's always easy. Avoid this,
Hmm.
don't touch the red button, right? So
Hmm.
the don't is do not copy someone's marketing strategy. I see that a lot. It's like, oh,
Hmm.
McDonald's did this, I want to do the same exact thing. Or,
Hmm.
you know, that works for them because it's their customers, their product, their business model, right? But you have to, I guess that's a do to the don't. Find what works for you, your customers, your business model. And that might mean thinking out of the box. That might mean that maybe you try something that maybe you refurbish something that maybe was done back in 2000. It can
Hmm.
still work, you know, but you
Hmm.
have to test it for your customers, your brand, your goals. You know, what is, like I said, marketing is very goal oriented. So if you're looking to find new customers, it might not be best for you to say, I don't know, like go somewhere and just like tag your name somewhere, you know, like
Right.
you got to be strategized. Where are your customers at? You know, what
Hmm.
do they need to see from you? They need to see more than just your name. What do you do? Pictures. Who are you? What is this? Like you got to answer all of those questions. So I think that leads me to another don't, which is essentially don't leave the questions unanswered, even if they're intuitive to you. Even if you feel you know the answer, I guarantee you there's a customer that doesn't. And
Right.
so when you're posting on social media or you're making your website, write as if this person knows nothing about you and what you do. You know, I think a tip of the trade that I learned when you're writing any type of content, whether that's a caption or a website or anything else, write as if you're writing to a sixth grader to make sure that everybody can understand you. Another don't, which is don't overcomplicate. Like as people, we just don't like complicated.
Hmm.
Sometimes the simple things work. And it could just be simply saying, hey, here's this cup and you put liquid in it. Like,
Right.
even though it seems intuitive to you, people need to see it. People need to hear it, you know?
Hmm.
So I'm finding with digital marketing is sometimes taking a step back and just saying, what are the basic questions here? Coming up with those 10 questions of like, what does someone need to know to
Hmm.
understand what I do and maybe think about buying from me? And that always does the thing. So I think if I had to say do's and don'ts, that would definitely be the top ones.
Please briefly explain how your agency measures the success of a marketing campaign.
Yeah, so definitely we take a qualitative and a quantitative approach. So qualitative is going to be what people are saying. So that's going to be your comment section, or if you've gotten any DMs. And so if we're on social media, or maybe you hear like you say, oh yeah, my friend checked out my website. They said they love it. So that's going to be some of the things that, you know, kind of are more testimonials, reviews
Hmm.
of things.
Hmm.
And then the quantitative results is where I actually go in with my business degree, my background, and the numbers, right? So
Right.
I build this Excel spreadsheet and I break it down. So, what are your engagement rates if that's one of the things that we're using for social media?
Hmm.
How is your community growing? So, are you seeing more email subscribers? Are you seeing more social media followers. So a lot of it is broken down into numbers so that I can communicate to you, yeah, here's our qualitative, here's what I hear people saying, here's the buzz around it. And that's kind of that PR piece of marketing. And then here's the quantitative, which is the numbers, which is like, okay, if we did, let's say, for example, there's organic and paid marketing. So organic is free, something that happens just as you do it over the course of time. Paid is obviously like, paying for ad space, paying for a commercial, paying for a billboard, those kind of things. Personally, myself, I like a combination of the both of the two of them. I like
That
both.
makes sense.
And the ratio is going to vary depending on your business and your community size. So let's say, for example, we have a social media page, you have an Instagram, you've been creating free content, and you notice this particular style of post or this particular kind of post is going to get, let's just say, 20% engagement every time you've posted it. Well, then we kind of know and we can predict, hey, if I pay for ad space and the ad manager is telling me that I can expect to see, let's just say 1,000 people will see this ad, then I know 20% of 1,000 people are going to engage with this ad. And then over time, as we experiment, then I can also calculate conversion rates, which is when someone sees the post, how many people buy. So if I can figure that out organically, when you go to do a paid promotion, I can say, hey, out of last time we did this organically, 5% of people bought. Okay, hey, when we launch this ad out to 1,000 people, I know 5% of people are going to buy. Here's how many customers we can expect from this ad. So that's kind of how we look at campaigns, as well as we look at your goals. So if you tell me your goal is, I just want to get my name out there, that's what a lot of business owners say, which in the marketing world is called brand awareness. So if your goal is to get your name out there, and I start to see, hey, it's comments, people are sharing your posts, people are visiting your website, and I know that I'm doing my job. Your name is getting out there. People are seeing you. So it's kind of twofold, looking at the numbers and like, what are we doing? Are we improving? Are we stagnant? Are we decreasing? How do we fix that if we're decreasing? And then on the other side of it is, what was the goal that we set in the beginning, and are we achieving that? Yeah.
Should a client of yours expect overnight success? Like, should they expect like, okay, I hire your services now, tomorrow we're gonna blow up? Is that like something real? Or is it like about setting and how important is it to set realistic expectations on marketing and hiring and retaining a agency such as yours?
So I'll take a step back. And I think that in our community, in our world with social media, virality or going viral is like something everybody wants to do. But I think a lot of people, we should have more of a conversation about what really going viral is. It just means a bunch of people are seeing you at once.
Right.
And what happens with that is when things explode, they also fizzle out fast. So that's my segue into the fact that no, don't expect overnight success, because overnight success really is probably not what you want. Because in reality, let's say you were to go viral today, right? Let's say I'm a business owner, and let's just say I sell a product and I go viral today and 1 million people see it. Do you really have the capacity to handle a million people, 1 million orders, right? So essentially with marketing, you're always playing the long game because you want a long lasting relationship. It's very expensive to get new customers. It's a lot cheaper for you as a business owner, period, regardless of what industry you're in, to have that same customer buy 1 million times rather than get 1 million new customers. Playing the long game, building a relationship and a long lasting relationship. I mean, think about, sometimes you even pass marketing relationships on to your kids. Like, think about, you might use the same soap that your mom bought when you were a kid, just simply because that's what your mom bought when you were a kid. And now they have 2 lifelong customers, right? So, it's all about the long game.
And now in your closing remarks, you want to also include like some of your business contact information and, how the members can reach you.
Yeah, so first, thank you so much. This is amazing. I love this conversation. But yeah, if you want to find me, I am on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and they're all at the Hustle Lab LLC. And then I also have a website. So that's thehustlelabllc.com. You can find all the information about my services as well as book your consultation. Like I said, free consultations, or just shoot me a question. There's a contact form. I'm always open. Yeah, DM me. I'm pretty flexible with all of that. But yeah, everything is pretty much the Hustle Lab LLC.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate your time today. Peace, y'all, and be victorious.